I started playing for Laguna Football Federation. I grew up sa Cabinti, Laguna. It's a small province sa Laguna next to Quezon province na. Hindi ko talaga alam kung paano nag-start pero hinuhugot lang ako ng Santa Cruz, Laguna for DepEd games. Tapos doon na parang nagbigay na sila ng scholarship hanggang sa nakarating na ako ng high school and college. Tapos kinuha ko ng Rizal Technological University. Then after that, I tried out for the national team. Nakuha ko for U19 and then yun, nagkaroon ako ng opportunity sa San Beda. Binigyan ako ng scholarship, so that's how I started playing football. Yung ano kasi doon is to escape talaga sa poverty kasi yung family ko naman is hindi naman kayang magbigay ng tuition, magbayad ng tuition for colleges. So yun, ginamit ko yung pagiging athlete ko para makakuha ng scholarships sa schools, makakuha ng allowance, and nag-enjoy ako sa travel ng DepEd Palawan, Negros. Grabe yung experience sa football. It's a big privilege for me na ma-represent kasi since 2015 I represent Mendiola FC 1991 na sa second division ng UFL. And nung nalaman ko na magbubuo sila ng team for professional football, it's really big for me na i-represent sila ulit, na makapagbigay din ng opportunity sa mga younger generation na makapaglaro professionally. Kasi yung professional football, iba talaga, lahat kasi talaga magagaling. You have caliber teams like Ceres Negros, Stallions, Kaya, they're really big clubs. Tas marami kasing football player na gusto lang talagang maglaro and they to show their talent sa big stage, and yun nga yung Philippine Football League. Yung gusto ko talaga yung binigay sa akin na chance ng Philippine Football League, kasi binigyan nila ako ng chance na makapaglaro, tas makita ng family ko na may napupuntahan yung ginagawa ko. Yung team goals parati ng Mendiola FC is to compete to the highest level, na every single game is very important, na ibigay namin kung paano kayo maglaro na counter-attacking football. Yun yung gusto naming ibigay sa mga nanonood, na yung counter-attacking football is effective siya.
My name is Michael Joseph Canicosa Libre, number 15 sa winger ng Marlica FC Manila. I play football in Tondo since elementary. Naglalaro na po kami ng football sa Tondo para makatulong sa parents ko, para mapag-aral ng libre. Ngayon nag-aaral kami ng libre dahil sa pagpo-football. Marlica kasi sila yung nagbigay sa akin ng opportunity para makapaglaro dito sa PFL. Yun, di ko sasayangin yung binigay ni Anton na opportunity para makapaglaro dito. Maganda sa PFL dahil nakakalaro mo na yung mga idol mo, kaya nila Stephen Shrock, Misag, teammate ko, sila Daniel Matsunaga, para mas tumaas pa yung level namin sa paglalaro ng football. Target namin sana makapasok po ng AFC. Sana, para tuloy-tuloy yung laro lang namin.
Yes, for how many months? Like 4 months, we don't have training or games here. That's why we are overwhelmed again to come back in training. Then I hope we can start the league. Then and we are thankful because despite of this pandemic, we start the training. That's why we need to adjust. Then we need to follow the guidelines. But we are lucky because we start the training again. Take care, you need to do it alone. You need to think because this is your future. If if you don't do it, maybe you cannot play anymore, because this game, you need your mindset here. It's like 100% everything. That's why we need to keep it up. Then we need to step up the training and the conditioning every day. That's why if we start the leg, we can fight.
Obviously, it's very nice to see them all healthy and happy after 6 months. I'm very, very eager to spend the next days with them as close and as much as possible, with the distancing, of course. No, I'm very happy to be back, and feels good. We left Germany around end of May, and then I was able, since in Germany football was allowed already, I was able to train and keep myself fit with several teams, several coaches. And I think I'm game ready, so if it's up to me, we start tomorrow. It's not a big deal for us. We train, we do the best out of the format we can, and then aim for the title as we always do. It's a total new concept, total new format, newly formed club, but the winning tradition will stay the same.
It feels great to be back on the pitch. We've been waiting a long time. We've been doing our own like team sessions on Zoom and jogs around the city, but nothing compares to being out on the pitch and being able to use the balls. Played a lot of Call of Duty. But no, like fitness-wise, we would do our team Zoom sessions like you said, and then I would always have 30 minutes to an hour at least, just my own personal workouts. Personally, I was recovering from an injury, so I was just doing rehab stuff and mostly just workouts to keep myself busy. It's okay. We're all just happy that we can get out here and play. We're going to start off with the protocols, like you said, with smaller groups, which is fine. Right now, I think we just need to focus on fitness and getting some touches on the ball again, because it's been a while since we've gotten any touches with the ball, any proper touches. So we're just happy that we're here with protocols and anything. Oh, we're ready. We're ready. We're all really eager to play. We just want to get out there and play. We've been looking forward to it the whole quarantine.
When we started, we focused on a lot of basic stuff, but now we introduce more of running with the ball and some tactical movements, and things have improved fitness-wise with my players now. So now it's more, since we have some limits pa rin on how we can train, yung mental aspect ng game becomes very, very important. To make sure that since we cannot simulate the physical demand because of non-contact, the mental demand is still there. So at least a match fitness mentally, we make sure that it's there, so that hindi naman magulat yung mga players when during the competition proper itself. Actually, to me, it's very good. It's a big challenge because you, as a coach, it challenges everything that you've learned and everything that you know. Because although the drills are there, you have to adapt it to the IATF requirements and the limitations again that we have. So you have to be very imaginative, and you have to be able to convey that message to your players properly, and just set expectations, and make sure that you involve your whole coaching staff, your assistant coaches, your goalkeeper coaches, your trainers. Everybody gets involved in making sure that the players perform. No excuses, because everybody's in the same boat. It's not like there's different rules for us and different rules for others. No. So now it's really a challenge on management and the coaching staff and the players to come together so that we can perform at our highest and our best during the competition. It's a big of a boost, because now that means I can actually get the most out of Balot Doctora without, burning him to the ground. I mean, this guy's been with us from day one, and I want to make sure that we get at least 30 good minutes out of him at a very high level. And having Ricky there actually helps a lot. We've also moved Nathan Alcaraz to the inside, and we made some adjustments also to some of our other players. And it's working out pretty well. Well, you saw his picture. You saw how serious he is into making sure he comes into the season in the best shape of his life. So, I'll leave it at that. This, like I said, we understand age plays a role, but then, I get 30 minutes of high intensity. Balot is our heart and soul. We need them in matches. Plain and simple. So I'm gonna do everything I can to put him in the game. He might not start, but I'm telling you, he's gonna finish the game. McDaniel to me will be a big surprise for a lot of people. And him coming here for the SEA Games was a great experience for him, and that's one of the reasons he decided to come back and play professionally, because he really loved this experience with the U22 during the SEA Games. For this season, AFC or bust. That's what the players have in mind. They're sacrificing a lot financially, even with their health and everything. So it's AFC or bust. So we have to make AFC.
This is Bienve Marañón. I'm playing a striker, and my club is United City. I started play football when I was young, but I was talking about this many times because I come from the street. I come from a very humble family, so I don't have the chance to join to the clubs in the early age. So I play in the street until when I was 10 years old. One guy from one club, he called me to join them, and after that I was growing so fast. I went to good academic, and then after that I play as a professional. When I was 16 years old, I start getting my first salary until right now that every single year I was improving in that. So for me, I play football to enjoy, and also I play football because I take this one like my job. I want to get my salary. As better I play, better will be my salary. So that is my intention. I enjoy the game, but also we have to look for our future. Yeah, it means a lot because after Tere is not here anymore, for us it's so difficult, especially for me that I'm a foreigner. It's more difficult to go out, to go to another country, because as a foreigner everything becomes difficult. But now I appreciate them that they want to get me. They want to get me to play in this league, to play for this season, and I appreciate. So after Ceres, I think this is a very good chance to show our skill, and especially mine. Yeah, I think PFL is improving a lot. Every single year they improve a lot. For me, it's very sad that this season, when everything was better, we stopped. They was preparing the season very good. In January, February, they was working very hard to give us the best thing for football, and unfortunately, this came out. So because this virus, everything stopped. So for me, that is very sad because PFL was ready to do the best of them. But it's okay. Now we have to look forward. We have to look for them. They are doing really good. They prepared this stadium really good with the billboard here around. I think they are doing a good schedule. They are doing everything good. So now we have to enjoy. We have to play every single game like a final, because this season will be even more difficult because it's just 5 games. Will be a final every single game, and hopefully the league is going well. We are going well also. We can enjoy football.
What a strike! Live from the PFF National Training Center in Carmona, Cavite, it's your morning football action from the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. Jing Hamlang and Darren Hartman calling the action for you on this morning. We've got an intriguing matchup to kick off 3 exciting matches in the PFL today. 2 teams desperate to bounce back from heartbreaking defeats in their last outing just 3 days ago. We've got Mendiola FC 9091 looking to bounce back from a 6-0 mauling at the hands of United City, and ADT looking to bounce back as well from 2 narrow defeats against the most established clubs in the league. It's an intriguing contest, Darren. These 2 sides desperate for their first points of the league.
I mean, the way that I look at it is that these teams, they haven't gone out and got results in their first games, but I think ideally on paper, this is the game they would have wanted earlier in the groupings. ADT went out against the 2 tougher sides in the league, and of course Mendiola have also got out and had a tough game. So today, I think it's going to be about playing well and trying to get some needed points on the board. So arguably, if it's a draw, Mendiola stay bottom, but of course if Stallions would go to bottom, but if Mendiola or ADT were to get a win, they would leapfrog, I would have thought, into 3rd, which is a more respectable place to be gone the halfway point of this league.
Azkals development team, newcomers into this league, so Mendiola desperate to make sure that they finish this league at least ahead of the newcomers, as they had 1 season already in the top flight. Let's have a look at some of the results from the previous 6 days. It started off with United City getting a narrow win against ADT. Kaya doing the same against them just 3 days later. Then ADT looking to now bag their first point against Mendiola, who in their last match had a really rough outing against United City. They still have Maharlika coming up on November 6th before wrapping up their campaign against Stallion Laguna later on this month. Of course, Mendiola started off their campaign just 3 days ago. That was their first match. This will be the ADT's 3rd match, Darren. How will that play into this match? That is one of the questions that will be answered. But meanwhile, Mendiola, of course, have had a rough go at it to start things off. First of all, we're supposed to play 6 days ago. That was postponed. They were shelved for 3 days, then got hammered. So it's a tough situation that they find themselves in today, Darren.
I think for ADT it's tougher on the mental aspect, but they're a focused young group. In terms of physically, I think ADT in the league probably have the advantage, should have quicker recovery times, but I mean, for any professional football player anywhere in the world, let alone in the middle of a pandemic like we are, this is a very, very tough schedule. But I feel that they will be happy playing Mendiola back-to-back with Maharlika.
Chimo Ozoka, of course, the man to watch in this one. Still no goals to speak of for ADT. They've been super solid defensively and very difficult to break down, but finding openings on the attacking end have been rare and few and far between. So Chimo Ozoka, a key man for them if they're going to unlock Mendiola today.
Yeah, I think what they will be looking for is it's not just about Chimo. I think it's about the way that they are combining and gaining confidence in rotating the ball a bit higher on the pitch. ADT have the potential to really hit on the counter-attack, but it's always going to be more efficient if you can maintain the ball a little bit. But of course, the trust goes into the big man, Chima. He's done it before. He's done it on the big stage as well, and today is going to be a real test of one of the older and more experienced forwards to get the first goal on the score sheet for ADT.
Now, on the other side, let's talk a little bit about Mendiola FC 9091. As mentioned, 6-0 drubbing at the hands of United City just 3 days ago. They've had a little bit of time to process that, Darren. You go out into your first match of the competition. You're very excited to get on the pitch, but you guys get hammered. How does that affect you going into this match against ADT?
Well, for me as the coach, going up against United City, who have already played 1 game, so they're kind of a bit fresh. We're talking about a league where teams haven't really had any chance to put together a string of friendlies or pre-season games to get ready. So I think that Mendiola will be firing on better cylinders today. They should be a little bit more cohesive. I don't think they will be too tired. I really think that United City managed to control the tempo of the game that they wanted to play, and I think it will be an even contest in terms of moving the ball around. I don't think the tempo will be too high. I think it's going to get quite hot as well. That's something we should take into consideration.
That's right. Mendiola, of course, had a 9 a.m. kickoff in their last outing, so that might help them out a little bit here against AD2, who are back at a morning kickoff. I believe this is their first one, actually, the first morning kickoff for the young guns of the Azkals development team. The player to watch for Mendiola is Jim Ashley Flores. Now, the captain of this side, also hunting their first goal of the competition. If ADT press high, Jim Ashley Flores potentially has some room to work with on the opposite side.
I actually remember meeting Ashley about 10 years ago when he was still a teenager. He actually come over. We don't live too far from each other in Laguna, and it's quite a strong program, the P. Guevara program from Santa Cruz. And there was a spell where the San Beda University had recruited several players from their program, and it's good to see that Jim Ashley Flores and PJ Fadrigalin are still playing. Fantastic, promising young players, and also inspiring a lot of young players from Laguna to continue to play.
So there you have it, Jim Ashley Flores, the man to watch for Mendiola FC. Chimo Zoka, on the other hand, we are all set up for an exciting contest here to kick us off in the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. When we return, it'll be kickoff between ADT and Mendiola.
Hi, I'm Glenn Casas, and I support Louis Casas and the Kaya Iloilo FC. Support local football.
Hi, my name is David Abella. I support Christian Rontini of the Azkals development team. Please support local football.
I'm Nick Jacob, and I support Jason Panay and Kaya FC. Support local football.
Hi, I'm Clyde. I support Christian Rontini of ADT. Support local football.
Hi, this is Al Joseph Tagakay. I support Jarvi Gayoso from Azkals development team, and yes, support local league.
Hi, this is Asia Cabanlong, and I support Stefan Schrock of the United City FC. Support local football.
Hi, I am Jose David V. Diaz. I support Eric Gallantes of the Azkals development team. Support local football.
Here we go. Azkals development team and Mendiola FC 1991 entering the pitch now here at the PFF National Training Center. First match of our triple header today. So much action to look forward to in the afternoon and in the evening, but we are kicking things off with this exciting contest between the young guns of the Azkals development team and Mendiola FC 91, who are desperate to bounce back in style here against the young guns. Jing Hamlang and Darren Hartman calling the action for you. And as we mentioned, both teams still looking for their first point in this campaign. This one, a fantastic opportunity to do that. Both also looking for their first goals of the campaign. Lots to look forward to in this one. So many exciting prospects, so many exciting matchups, and we are just about to get underway.
Well, I know that people said that football is back, and this is my first time to be back, and it's a bit emotional, to be honest with you. It really is just, it's that same feeling, but it's just a whole lot more special when those players walked out onto the pitch. 22 brave men with their coaching staff behind them. Just incredible, Jing. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I really hope that this game brings all of the fans that have been dying to see football back again. And here we are. We can have a look now at the boys that will be putting the work in for us this morning.
Yared in goal. Gayoso keeps his spot on the left flank. He's in defense alongside Custodio, Diano, and Lingbo. That's been a solid back line for them. And let's take a look really quickly at their subs before checking in with Mendiola. And let's take a look at how they set up today. 4-5-1 it looks like.
Yeah, it's quite similar styles. I mean, but to be honest with you, it's going to be all about how the first 5 to 10 minutes go, because we do know that ADT are going to be coming at them with their, I guess, trademark press now.
Ozoka. Rontine has been a real force in midfield for ADT. One of the aspects that has been most impressive for ADT has been how they've battled in midfield. It could be a crucial area to see who gets the advantage early on here. Mendiola have it poked away. Gallantes. First touch for Harvey Gayoso, and they're going to take their time at the back. There was a notion, Darren, before the start of the tournament that the Azkals development team might get pushed around in this competition, being the younger members of this league, but that certainly has not been the case. In fact, we've been seeing the opposite after 2 outings against United City and Kaya.
Yeah, I think also that there will be some clubs that are playing in the league that really have the pick of local talent, whereas ADT technically have the pick of Filipino-blooded players all over the world. That is because of what they are set up to do, and that is to develop young and budding full senior national team players. So their selection process, their scouting has been fair. It's been good, and you can see the result of it is a physically strong and mentally determined young side.
Mendiola struggling to get a foothold here early on. Gayoso going long. They're able to inch their way forward on this near side. Headed on there by Marvin Angeles. Custodio whistled for the foul. Mendiola playing quickly here. The young back line alert to the danger. And they're being patient about working their way out of this trouble. Wano winning this battle. Looking to switch the play. No one really there. Too far behind Lance Ocampo.
Yeah, but good composure there from ADT. Players just relaxed under the pressure, managing to play out into the middle of the park. Unfortunately, Wano not able to keep the momentum going in that play.
Ahmed Hajimadi going to be so key for Mendiola in this game. Uzoka drifts out wide. He's run out of real estate though. Throw in on the far side. Of course, it's a shortened season this year, given everything that has transpired all over the world. It's a mini miracle that we have a league in the first place, but just 5 games per club, which means very little room for error if you are going to achieve your goals of finishing as high up on the table as possible. And when you're Mendiola, you look at this fixture as certainly one where you can get all 3 points.
Yeah, I think this is one of those games which potentially goes either way depending on how the first 5 to 10 minutes go. It looks as if ADT are quite quickly stamping their tempo onto the game, so let's see how Mendiola deal with the tempo.
Not the best delivery. Almost caused some problems as it rolled through. Gallantes getting it back to Marvin Angeles. Nice little exchange there. And that's punched away by Kenry. First long spell of possession here for ADT. Ocampo, drop at the shoulder, running at his man. It was clipped there. There was no whistle on the first. There is definitely going to need to be one on the second, and he's won a free kick here in the nice territory.
And we were privileged enough to see Lance Ocampo do that many, many times for us as a youth team player. Actually, predominantly on the left-hand side, with the ability to cut inside. And Coach Scott likes using him out on the right-hand side, and he's very effective at getting past his man. And if he can find the quality in his deliveries, will really help ADT in this campaign.
Gayoso over the ball. He's got plenty of bodies to aim at. And when you look at the group of bodies in the middle, it's ADT that look the more formidable. They get ahead to it, but it looks like it's touched out for a corner kick. Marvin Angeles is going to be hoping for a better delivery this time. There's a quick look at that set piece. Far post there, almost for ADT. A great opportunity for the young Azkals to open the scoring there. Much better delivery this time from Marvin Angeles, and he's all alone there at the far post.
Yeah, I was going to say a much better delivery, and to be honest with you, if you take that chance 10 times, you're scoring 9 out of 10. But of course, when it's in a game like this and your team is yet to score a goal, sometimes that's going in the back of your head, and you know that this league has been very well followed, very well represented by the media as well. So sometimes you get a few thoughts in the back of your head.
One thing is for sure, that was a warning shot from ADT, and now one from Mendiola as Jim Ashley Flores stings the gloves of Yared.
And that's why taking your chances could be so important. ADT down one end, arguably should have opened up the scoreline, and then straight away Jim Ashley Flores, the man that we picked out before the game, stinging the hands of the goalkeeper. But he struck it well.
Not a man you want to afford room outside the box, Jim Ashley Flores. He's got extreme pace, the captain of Mendiola, but also has that capability to shoot from distance.
I like the way ADT are building a little bit of width into their deeper rotation. It just gives them a few more options, and over time, hopefully it's this league, if not it'd be the next league, they should be able to do this higher up the park like they are now.
Ocampo steps on the brakes, allows the back line to move over to the half line. That's well anticipated by Balobo. Kenry Balobo, introduced late in the match against United City, and now he's kept his spot here in front of Dini Ouattara. Lovely work in the middle to keep the ball. The outlet, however, was straight to Harvey Gayoso. Altice putting enough pressure on Gayoso to force the mistake, but the left back gets it back.
And you can see now that the fullbacks of ADT are, you know, just inside the half of Mendiola, and that's possibly half of the reason why Harvey Gayoso is starting on paper at left back. But you saw then his composure when he was on the ball, and you can see that he is just inside the Mendiola half, and then Galiantes is just stepping inside, which gives you the extra attacking option when you're building the ball out wide.
Looking to go over the top there. Galiantes was ushered out the way into the hands of Kenry Balobo. Opening 10 minutes have breezed by here at the PFF National Training Center. Both sides have had an opportunity to trade some shots. Angeles took a deflection. The ball will remain with the white shirts. This was Jim Ashley Flores from the edge of the box.
I thought it was a decent strike. He took it nice and early. He knows his range as well, and hit the target. That's all you can really ask from a striker. I mean, possibly with a little bit more confidence might have been able to pick out the opposite corner, but the goalkeeper's done exceptionally well to read it.
Galiantes cleared away. Counter attack could be on here for Mendiola. Diano staying alert to the danger. Ocampo unable to beat Polinag. Takes it away and delivers the outlet. Aaron Altice bearing down on goal, and it's well wide of the target. Let's have a look at that one more time. Beautiful work from Mendiola, converting defense to attack very quickly.
And that's Aaron Altice, and I think a few years ago he would have got on that ball maybe a couple of yards quicker. I think I'm only saying that because we were batch mates and we played together.
Polina, one of the few bright spots for Mendiola up against United City. You can see there a glimpse of his capability. Took the ball away and then delivered the outlet for Altice to run onto. Owano clip there pretty crisply. And J.R. Sandoval, the guilty party. Looking to break the press by going direct. Wonderful anticipation from Custodio. Jumps over the challenge and gets Harvey Gayoso involved. Looking for the quick entries. Looking to exploit the high line of Mendiola. Flores gets away from two defenders, but Custodio able to poke it away at just the right moment. Good touch from Gallantes to get inside. A wonderful recovery from Sandoval.
And Galantes, he's still quick on his toes. I love watching him play. He can also be very, very dangerous when he gets in behind the player. And it's good to see that ADT have got a good balance and also good rotation in their squad. Plenty of options as they take the long throw here.
It's a proper long throw from Matthew Custodio. Got to the midway point of the box. Somewhere Anton Del Rosario is watching proudly. Actually turned out to be a decent chance there.
Yeah, I think so. And I think other teams will have to take note as well, because once you've got one player on a side that can do that, of course Anton Del Rosario can do for Maharlika, it's almost like giving away a corner. So teams will have to be wary. I'm sure that all of the teams, the other 4 teams that aren't involved in this game are watching today as well, taking notes. So
sliding challenge from Rontini was clean. Taken away by Uzoka. In the end, the shot was not of any bother to Kenry Balobo, but a dangerous moment there for the back line of Mendiola. They're getting pressed now by ADT. Flores has stayed down here. Says he's taking a shot to the head. And got double teamed by Rontini and Matthew Custodio. 2 real formidable figures.
yeah, probably physically the 2 biggest guys on the team. And that's Jim Ashley Flores, who is on the receiving side of that. I mean, that's just a young side being competitive. And I think Rontini really is, I wouldn't say old-fashioned, because I think technically he's good as well, but he's your old-fashioned number 8. You know, he likes to work up and down. He likes to put his big tackles in. And there you go, the fair play has not been lost in the sport over the break.
Christian Rontini has certainly left an impression to his midfield rivals over his last 2 outings.
It's good as well, because I think he's a good player as well, because vocally he does well. I think we're seeing a little bit more of his leadership skills in the middle. Of course, taking the back seat in the SEA Games to Stefan Strock. And I mean, why wouldn't you?
ADT looking for their way down this left side, but it seems a bit tight, so they're going to cycle it over to the right side with Lingbo and Lance Ocampo linking up now. Was able to get past 2. A 3rd defender, just a little too much for Ocampo. A little bit of frustration there from Mendiola. They wanted to go quickly. And Depe now switching the play.
It's interesting that Mendiola are opting to play that long pass from the back. I mean, if I was Mendiola in this heat with the sort of tempo that ADT are looking to play at, I'd be looking just to slow the game down a little bit. You're talking about age and experience against youth and intensity, the best thing to do is to play the game at the tempo that you're happy to play at. I mean, we're still in the early parts of the first half, so controlling the tempo of the game is going to be important.
It's a very interesting point, Darren, because in the last two outings of ADT, both matches were played at 100 kilometers an hour, and it was no problem for ADT. In fact, they like that kind of tempo. They want to get stuck in a high-tempo match.
Yeah, and I mean, you still have Carlo Durin and you still have Troy Limbo on the bench, and I mean, they're very, very fit as well. I mean, all the subs are. I mean, you're not selected to play for ADT if you're not fit, because that's the sort of profile of player that they will be looking for to push Philippine football forward. So I think when teams play against them, I think like how Maharlika did against Stallions, just, you know, using your experience just to control the tempo of the game is going to be important.
Lance Ocampo, always so dangerous. Every time he receives the ball on the right flank, he's taking on his defender.
Yeah, I remember back in the day where people like myself could move that quickly. It's really nice to watch, though. I think all the wingers at ADT bring a little bit of flair, and there's almost, we hope that we can recreate that feeling when Chiefy used to play. You know, every time when Chiefy got the ball, you know, the crowd used to believe a little bit, and that's what we'd be looking for in the PFL, because I think United City have it, I think that Kaya have it, and I think that it'd be nice if every club had, you know, had one or two players that really got the crowd going and got people excited.
Custodio lets it run. Dealt with the danger nicely. Diano going quickly to Gallantes. No, rather that's Harvey Galloso, but it's just behind the intended target.
I think Harvey just going inside a little bit too soon there. But the communication's there, and it's just going to be about repetition now. They need to keep practicing that and repeating that. But in fairness, Mendiola are doing well down their right-hand side.
Zoka. Again, the final touch wasn't great. Altice turning away from trouble. That's a meaty challenge from Marvin Angeles. Let's have a look at it here. Altice, clever turn. Well anticipated by Marvin Angeles. Owano. Positive turn. Gallantes able to cut inside. Angeles able to swing it. And that was a very quick recovery from Louis Polinag.
Yeah, I think the fullbacks of Mendiola are doing really well at the moment, containing ADT. But you can just see just how deep Mendiola are sitting now. Trying to compact out the space and get ADT to play through like they have.
Best chance.
That's taking a touch off his gloves.
Of the game for ADT, Chimo Zoka. Able to carve out some room and sting the gloves of Kenry Balobo, but it was right down the middle.
Yes, a lovely weighted pass there for a striker. Well, he has hit the target, fingertips from the goalkeeper. But again, that's a couple of chances now that ADT haven't managed to convert. But that's exactly what I come here to, to see, was to see, can ADT create from higher up on the pitch? And that they've answered that question already in the first half.
Corner kick. It's a deep one. And it misses the entire sea of players in the middle. Closing in at the halfway point of this opening period. Take a look at that corner kick that missed everyone there. So now both keepers have been tested in this match. Flores going a little too hard there against Mardiano. This Azkals development team, of course, have some big competitions to look forward to next year. None more important than the SEA Games coming around once again. Darren?
Yeah, it's fantastic when the Philippines is able to put out a good team, and I mean the last SEA Games was pretty special for me, and I'm sure that this side here are all training hard with that in mind. Great work on the left-hand side.
Those are the battles that we've been looking at. Sandoval versus Galliantes. You've got Polinag versus Ocampo on the opposite side. And Sandoval had been acquitting himself nicely here against Galliantes, but on that last occasion, Galliantes able to win a corner kick.
But I think the dynamics of the game as well with 5 subs. So you're really reliant on who you have on your bench, although you can, looking at Mendiola, they only have 4 outfield players on the bench.
Delivery into the box is a dangerous one once more. It's bouncing around dangerously. Rontini goes down. No whistle from the referee, and Altice is breaking free. Offside for Jim Ashley Flores. Would have been all alone against the goalkeeper had that flag not been raised. Let's have a look at it here. The breakaway, Darren.
Yeah, for a fraction of a second. They were 2v2 at the back. But again, ADT managing to create from set pieces.
Mendiola have made really no attempts at hiding their main approach to football in this competition, which is counter-attacking. And you can see that they know exactly where they want to go once they recover the ball. But the problem right now is they're being penned in by ADT. That is cleared away forcefully by Polinag. Now we're going to get our first hydration break, but let's just appreciate Polinag's intensity here. Owano needed a moment to get his bearings back after that.
I can actually hear that from here, and we're on the directly opposite.
So 26 minutes into this contest, Darren. Still scoreless between Mendiola and ADT, but there have been chances for both sides. Who do you think is shading it at the moment?
I think at the moment, ADT look like they're in control of the tempo of the game, but take nothing away from the way that Mendiola are set up across the back, although ADT have forced them a little bit deeper now. What would I do if I was Mendiola? Probably keep playing the way they're playing. If they get on the ball, maybe try to slow it down a little bit. But for ADT, I think ADT now should be looking to gain a little bit of width, get the ball into the middle of the park and snap a couple of shots off from 30 yards. See if they can try to get the Mendiola defenders to step up a little bit. Because at the moment it's getting very, very crowded in there. That's just one of the things that you can do to try to, create a little bit more space in behind, is shoot a little bit earlier. But apart from that, perhaps pick up on how Chima managed to spin off in space, try to have a look at what led to that build-up. Because that looks as if where ADT will score, unless it's a set piece. But Mendiola, I mean, on the counter-attack, it was highlighted before by, I think it was by Natasha Alquiros. She said that Mendiola were good on the counter-attack. And this is my first time I've actually seen them play live. I can see where it's coming from. Experienced counter-attacking, yes, and perhaps try to get Hamid on the ball a little bit more.
Yes, Hamed Hajimari. We haven't had too many opportunities to appreciate his close control and footwork, but here they are. The two number 10s exchanging some pleasantries after that hydration break. We will restart on the far side. Throw in for the men in white. Lingbo. Not on the same wavelength there with Lance Ocampo.
I think ADT could find a little bit more tempo as well by, perhaps that little delay in their rotation across the back. If they've already made a decision on where they're putting the ball, they can just touch, play. It would be a lot sharper. Oh, interesting. No advantage there.
Whistle blown. Hamid Hajimadi applauding it. He saw that there was danger looming. But there's still a set piece to defend.
In fairness, though, I think the officials have done well to keep themselves fit over the break. It has been a long time. And I know that they do have to go through their own protocols and their own fitness tests as well, not just the players. So just showing a little bit of appreciation for all the work the officials have done as well to get ready for this league.
7 months away from the game. An eternity for everyone in the Philippine football community.
Yeah, normally 7 days is a long time.
It's a good ball into the box. Met by a nice catch by Kenry Balobo. He's been confident, the keeper of Mendiola.
Yeah, they don't look like a side that just received 6 goals from United City.
Little word being had here between Jan Initan and Chima Ozoka. Something that was said, I'm sure. Custodio staying patient here. The two center backs, they're trying to see if Mendiola will come out and meet them. Mendiola not interested. Galiantes breezes past Sandoval. Get some support from Harvey Gayoso. Showed too much to JR Sandoval. He's had it taken away. Briseño. Difficult ball to track for Custodio. He's got Jim Ashley Flores pressuring. Diano helping out. Calm and steady, the two center backs, Mar Diano and Matthew Custodio.
Yeah, I think both Mardiano and Wano have been standouts for me in UAAP level. And it's good to see that their talents have been recognised and they don't look out of place here at all.
And Mardiano, very important in a developing side to have their character tested. Mardiano had an error lead to a goal against Kaya, but it doesn't seem to be affecting his form here at all. And that's good to see, promising to see from a young player.
Yeah, I think perhaps there's still a few things that they're going to be picking up as they play in these games, and that's why we say it's only 5 games, but these are 5 very important games, especially for ADT in their development years, because at under 23 level outside of the country, I mean, they're playing all the time. So it's very, very important that they're getting these games in.
Past the half-hour mark, Mendiola slowing things down just a little bit. ADT working to get upfield very quickly. They want to press Mendiola inside their own half, but that one's out for a goal kick. It's been a little shift on the side here of Mendiola. They switch flanks. James Pangasian is now on this near side. Altiche has switched over to the opposite flank. Whistle was delayed. It's actually going the way of Mendiola. Well, let's have a look here. He was pointing in the opposite direction. Yes, it is a free kick for Mendiola. Bit surprised?
I wonder maybe use of the hand. Maybe it's difficult to say, but obviously the referee has a better view of that situation than us. He wasn't far from the play.
It's a good ball from Balobo. Well tracked by Diano in the end. And Depe. Difficult ball to control for Aaron Altice.
I just saw a couple of the Mendiola players in the middle just step off when Rontini stepped into that header there. So he's obviously made an impression on the game already.
Would have been promising if Harvey could have taken that in his stride. It's a difficult ball to control though from Custodio. Dangerous ball from Sandoval. He gives it up to Uzoka. Almost rolled into the bottom corner.
But it's the second or third time now that Chima has managed to drift into a little bit of space there. I'm going to see if I can watch him a little bit off the camera, see how he's doing that.
Angeles releases Gallantes on the left side. Two bodies to aim at in the middle. Suleiman Indepe clearing it away. Hajimari is safely back to Balobo. He's pressured very quickly, had to release. That forced to the throw in here. ADT starting to build a little bit of momentum. Custodio to Diano. And Matthew Custodio has looked right at home at center back.
He's a very talented player. I mean, dominated the same batch and the same time youth football with Harvey Gayoso. That was back when football was mostly festival type. It's a great ball in.
Not a lot of pace and swerve on that ball from Harvey Gayoso. And perhaps another reason why you find him on this left side for ADT. But a lot of question marks regarding that. Of course, made a name for himself in the UAAP as a striker. Bit too strong, asking a little too much from Eric Gallantes. Let's have a look at it here. That was the hospital pass from Sandoval that led to this chance.
Yeah, I think it's just now with Gayoso and with Gallantes is that they just really need to get a little bit of link-up play in between them. It's just going to take a bit of confidence from the two of them. As I said before, I mentioned earlier that that's why these games are so important, because if they do get it right, they're both naturally left-footed. They're both comfortable on the ball. They're both quick, and Harvey, of the two, probably has the greater range. So it doesn't matter if Harvey is starting in behind, because he can still hit the box from deeper in the park.
Altice doing fantastically well to hold on to the ball. But Linag has it picked away. Rontini's got room to work. Finds Harvey Gayoso. It's a beautifully weighted ball there. Uzoka caught offside. Let's have a look at it here. See if we can catch it. Just a little bit too quick there. Couldn't see if Uzoka was in line or not. Marvin
See, that's the sort of pass that Harvey needs as well from Marvin there. Marvin being one of the older players, just encouraging him forwards, led to this chance. Great recovery.
Had his head down there, Eric Gallantes. And to be fair, didn't have too many options to choose from in the middle. Lovely to see the improvement here from ADT. Slowly, they're finding the spaces they need to exploit.
Yeah, and all it took was a really nice weighted pass from Marvin Angeles, and it just led to this little bit of build-up on the left-hand side, and ADT winning. I haven't got the stats with me, but 5th or 6th corner already.
Good delivery from Marvin Angeles. Just outside that 6-yard box, but Kenry Balobo has come out confidently once more. It's been busy. The man in between the sticks for Mendiola. Some protests on the pitch. The play continues. Hajimari. Gayoso. Altiche catches him there. And we're going to see their first substitution of the match. And it looks like Lance Ocampo's day is done. He's being replaced by Carlo Durin here. And it's not even half time yet.
Yeah, it's very like for like, two creative attacking minded players. Both fit as well.
He looked quite lively, Lance Ocampo, when the ball was on his flank. You surprised at all by this substitution, Darren?
To be honest with you, when there are 5 substitutes, not a lot really will surprise me. Especially if you're looking to play at a high tempo. If you've got the players that can do this like Carlo's doing now, why not?
Angeles gets it to Rontini. He wasn't able to control it, but he was offside anyway. Oof. It's close.
It was close, and again you can see just how deep that Mendiola back 4 is.
Lingbo just sticking his body into the back of Altiche. He's gotten away with it there. Polinag couldn't find his target. He's put a little too much in it. Harvey Gayoso. Mendiola have been forced into mostly defending here in the last 10 minutes or so. Cut out by Rontini. Handball for Hajimari. No. Given to Marvin. And Hamid Hajimari smartly saying, let's slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. You've also got to think that, as you mentioned before, it's only 5 games, and so every minute is important. And I think that Mendiola playing United City first and then coming out here and dealing with the tempo that ADT are playing in their 3rd game, I think just putting 5, 6, 7 passes together will make Mendiola feel a lot more comfortable. Half-time is just around the corner, and it'd be nice to go into half-time off, several good passages of play.
Gayoso being asked to retake the throw. He'd ventured a little too far down the sideline before releasing the ball. Rontini is going to earn a yellow card for that. At least he should. Pretty clear one.
And that's his second yellow of the competition as well.
One more and he will be suspended for a match.
I think that's a professional foul there. He was just caught on possession and didn't... well, he had to make a decision. He saw that there was cover, but just decided just to put his arms on the player, draw the foul. It was always going to be a yellow card.
Not taking any chances there. It was Jim Ashley Flores who was going to be loose and running at the defense.
Well, as they say, it's the best time to score, but worst time to concede, just before half-time.
Hajimari over the ball. Five bodies to aim at inside the box. And he was all alone there. Could not take advantage. J.R. Malayo. Let's have a look at it here. Not a white shirt around him.
ADT on the attack, 1-on-1. Oh, that's a big decision from the goalkeeper. He might be in trouble here. He could be in trouble.
Balobo saying he got the ball, which he definitely did, but he's going to get a yellow card. Let's have a look at it. He got a piece of it, Darren, but he also got a lot of the man on the follow-through.
Yeah, I think the arguments from ADT is if you're going to give a free kick, you've got to send the goalkeeper off. But I think a yellow card there is probably a fair decision given that there was at least one Mendiola player working in behind the goalkeeper. And we have to remember that the rules are is if you're the last man, quite similar you could say with Rontini there when he pulled on Ashley Flores' shirt. There was still players in behind, which is why it's only a yellow card.
2 minutes added on to our opening period. And an opportunity here for the Azkals development team to enter the break with their noses in front. Fantastic opportunity. Edge of the box. But it seems right now there's a little bit of a discussion going on as to who will take it. Marvin Angeles, usually the guy setting up the ball, is the man to take it.
I think there's a long line of players at ADT who'd like to take this. This is training ground stuff, this. Right in the middle of the goal. About 23 yards out. Maybe a bit closer. Just inside the D, maybe. Or maybe ADT are trying to get it just inside the D.
Harvey Gayoso also lining it up. Lingbo over the ball. You wonder.
Yeah, balanced squad. One right-footed, one left-footed.
Angeles hits it onto the wall and out for a corner. Last chance of the half, perhaps?
Yeah, and this is their fifth corner now, and by the law of averages, they normally say it takes you 5 opportunities to score, so now I've said that, they probably won't.
Referee just wants a word. Things getting a little bit too physical between Diano and some of his former teammates at Mendiola. Nice delivery. Well headed away by
And he's
Flores.
pointed to the spot. I think he's pointed to the spot.
And a yellow card shown. Drama at the end of the half. Yellow card and a penalty. Let's have a look. Mardiano was the recipient of that hit from behind from Louis Polina. The former teammates from UE going at it here.
I mean, there's times and places to get one on a former teammate, but it is not in the box at the end of the first half in a game which is 0-0. And I know I've been away from the commentary for 7-8 months, but you know when a penalty's been given. You don't forget.
Marvin Angeles stepping up for ADT. Can the captain bury it? Saved! Second serving! Off the post! Unbelievable! Still 0-0. Let's have a look at it. Saved by Balobo. Second serving off the upright. And Mendiola survive. Halftime whistle blown by Jan Inita. And what a flourish to the end of that opening period, but it remains 0-0 after 45 minutes. Missed penalty, missed opportunity for the Azkals development team to get their first goal of the competition. They're going to want that one back, and right away we're going to get an opportunity to jump right back into some of the action we saw in this opening half. But goodness me, Mendiola are going to be walking into the break feeling pretty good about themselves, because it could have been much, much worse after the opening period.
Yeah, I think so. We were saying that it wouldn't be a good time to concede. Then Mendiola straight away giving away that penalty. Right, I think it was after the 45th minute. And at least for Mendiola now, it's an opportunity for Dan Padernal to get everyone in and say, look, come on, whatever it is, it's done. It's 0-0. It could be worse. We've got to build ourselves into this game. I think it's all still to play for. I really do. It's been a cracking game. It may not have had all the goals that some of the other games have had, but this has been a good game.
It took a little bit of time to get going, but once it did, it certainly delivered. 0-0 at halftime, but plenty to speak about. Let's have a look now at some of the action from that opening period. And Gallantes particularly lively on this left side alongside Harvey Gayoso. But on the opposite end, Jim Ashley Flores, as mentioned, the man to watch for Mendiola, and he's certainly been the spark plug they need up top. It's had its share of physicality this game. A couple yellow cards already. And here Matthew Custodio showing he can still play higher up the pitch even as a center back these days. And there's plenty of set pieces for ADT in this game.
Yeah, I think that's just a reflection of the tempo that the game is being played at. I mean, I know that Mendiola have had a tendency to sit a little bit deeper, but all in all, I think that Mendiola have played their part. ADT, yes, they've had their set pieces, of course, finishing on that penalty, but what a way to set up the second half, Jing.
A fantastic start to the game. It's scoreless at the break. We'll be right back with second half action in just a little bit.
This is Bienve Marañón. I'm playing a striker, and my club is United City. I started play football when I was young, but I was talking about this many times because I come from the street. I come from a very humble family, so I don't have the chance to join to the clubs in the early age. So I play in the street until when I was 10 years old. One guy from one club, he called me to join them. And after that, I was growing so fast. I went to good academic, and then after that, I play as a professional. When I was 16 years old, I started getting my first salary until right now that every single year I was improving in that. So for me, I play football to enjoy, and also I play football because I take this one like my job. I want to get my salary. As better I play, better will be my salary. So That is my intention. I enjoy the game, but also we have to look for our future. Yeah, it means a lot because after Tere is not here anymore, for us it's so difficult, especially for me that I'm a foreigner. It's more difficult to go out to go to another country because as a foreigner everything becomes difficult. But now I appreciate them that they want to get me. They want to get me to play in this league, to play for this season, and I appreciate. So after Ceres, I think this is a very good chance to show our skill and especially mine. Yeah, I think PFL is improving a lot. Every single year they improve a lot. For me, it's very sad that this season, when everything was better, we stopped. They was preparing the season very good. In January, February, they was working very hard to give us the best thing for football, and unfortunately, this came out. So because this virus, everything stopped. So for me, that is very sad because PFL was ready to do the best of them. But this okay. Now we have to look forward. We have to look for them. They are doing really good. They prepared this stadium really good with the billboard here around. I think they are doing a good schedule. They are doing everything good. So now we have to enjoy. We have to play every single game like a final because this season will be even more difficult because it's just 5 games. Will be a final every single game. And hopefully the league is going well. We are going well also. We can enjoy football.
So I'm Harvey Gayoso, 23. I play for the advanced development team. I'm a left wing back. It was 19 years ago. There was an orientation about football in my kindergarten, and I was excited about listening to the coach, and he was telling us about the rules of the game and the equipment that they use and all that. So I asked my mom to enroll me, and that's when I kind of began playing. Then I continued on playing with my uncle and playing with other clubs like Football Fanatics, and then I just progressed to playing varsity and then playing for the national team after that. It was a natural attraction towards football. I just enjoyed playing the sport. I felt most natural, and I felt most at home playing football. Whenever I'd be on the pitch, everything else outside of it is just blank to me. It's me. When I'm in the pitch, it's just me, and that's what I enjoy about playing football. I think it means a lot, especially because I stand by the whole mantra of the ADT, showing them that youth football can actually produce something in an international stage, and I think that's what this is the club. This is what the direction the club is going for, and it means a lot to me because I want to make a mark, especially in the world of football and especially in the Philippines. So this is where I think I can actually get that first step towards that goal. What I like about the PFL is that it's very competitive. You have a lot of teams, and of course everybody's trying to do their best in order to help football progress in the country. And I think I see that in all of the teams being able to prepare well and being able to get themselves ready to give a show to the Philippine football fans. Our target is nothing else but to win. We believe that we're young enough and we're strong enough and we're hungry enough to actually do something about this in this league and actually make to get good results actually.
Hi, I'm Glenn Casas and I support Louis Casas and the Kaya Iloilo FC. Support local football.
Hi, my name is David Abella. I support Christian Rontini of the Azkals development team. Please support local football.
I'm Nick Jacob and I support Jason Panay and Kaya FC. Support local football.
Hi, I'm Clyde. I support Christian Rontini of ADT. Support local football.
Hi, this is Al Joseph Tagakay. I support Jarvi Gayoso from Azkals development team, and yes, support local league.
Hi, this is Asia Cabanlong and I support Stefan Schrock of the United City FC. Support local football.
Hi, I am Jose David V. Diaz. I support Eric Galliantes of the Azkals development team. Support local football.
ADT and Mendiola searching for their first goal in this second half as both teams denied in the opening 45 minutes. Let's have a look at some of the match statistics, Darren.
Yeah, I think the possession there really shows that ADT have come out with a strong intent. But of course, we're looking at the more interesting stats, which is the shots and shots on target, where ADT have managed to dominate, but it's not reflecting in the scoreline. We normally look at, as I said, 5 chances to get yourself on a score sheet. You would have thought that that penalty was almost a sure goal, but penalties are never sure goals, especially when your team are yet to score in this competition. So it has been well contested, plenty of fouls on both sides. I don't think there's been anything which has been dirty. I think it's been a competitive game of 2 contrasting styles, and I think that the second half is well set, Jing.
Substitution for ADT at the break. Christian Rontini's day is over. He joins Lance Ocampo on the bench of those who were replaced from the first half. He's replaced by Jerome Marzan. So already 2 substitutes being utilized by Coach Scott Cooper. Carlo Darin was introduced late in that opening period, but you're allowed 5 substitutes in this game. Of course, given everything that's transpired with the pandemic, they are not ideal preparations heading into this competition, so they've made the allotment for more substitutes, and ADT maximizing that right now. Here is Jerome Marzan right now. All set up for an explosive 45 minutes between these two sides. What do you want to see from Mendiola, Darren?
From Mendiola, I'd like them to get on the ball and just try to move the ball around a little bit. I think they'll find that with the experience they have and the creativity they have in the middle, they should be able to build up passages of play. They don't need to be so direct, although it is a little bit trademark for them. That's a fantastic start from ADT. Getting behind a wing and winning a corner straight away. But I feel that Mendiola have kept themselves back. And I feel that, you know, with still 3 games left for them after this, they will be looking to play more efficiently. And efficiently doesn't mean just sitting back and sitting deep. I know that those boys can play football. I've seen them play a lot, played against some of them as well. So I'd like to see them move the ball about a little bit more, Jing.
Low delivery into the box from the corner kick. Not an effective one, but the second ball batted away by Balobo. Only as far here as an ADT player, but that delivery from Darin, not the greatest. Gayoso had an attempt. Not going to trouble Balobo in goal. So glad you could join us here for the action from the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. This game under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board. Earlier at the break, you might have seen some of the fan videos that have been turned in, and we'd like to invite all of you guys to send us your support. Send us a video of you showing your support to the PFL and send that over to the PFL Facebook page so we can share it on our broadcasts. Polinik was waiting for that ball to arrive, and Chimo Zoka took it away. Briseño. Altiche running at Lingbo. looking to get it over to Flores, and that's going to be safely back to the goalkeeper, Yared. Had to make one save in the opening period, but other than that was really untroubled in goal for ADT. Marzan has a look up. Now the ball comes for Carlo Durin. Showing good strength there, Carlo Durin. Wins a free kick.
I actually first met Carlo when he was 14 years old, and he could do 5,000 keepy-uppies at 14. And now here he is playing his third professional game of football.
Cagayan de Oro City native, Carlo Durin. That's a good ball. Kenny Balobo taking a bit of contact there from Mardiano, who is continuing with his momentum.
And it's good to see Cagayan de Oro well represented as well in this PFL. Several players making it to this flight of football. That's an awkward bouncing ball there. Defender caught in two minds. And I think the goalkeeper's done well to come across as well. But again, ADT able to win their set pieces, but not yet able to convert.
Ashley is going to fire from way out. Had it blocked. Owano showing good strength. Ndepe a little bit too forceful there. Called for the foul. Let's have a look at it here. Ran into Marvin Angeles. All the way back to Lingbo. That's going to be much too strong. Easy for Kenry Balobo to catch.
That's a good area, though, for the right back to be getting the ball in, especially with the height advantage that ADT have.
Good communication between Anton Yared and Matthew Custodio.
I mean, those are the contrasting styles we were talking about. ADT looking just to roll out from the back, whereas Mendiola have really been pumping everything long, hoping that their captain can get on the end of it.
Diano switches the play nicely. Swings it over to Harvey Gayoso, who's shown some lovely footwork. I couldn't find the run of Owano. Diano heads it to Altiche. Had room to work with. And he's been absolutely cleaned out there by Alexander Lingbo.
Yeah, I think lucky there not to pick up a yellow card. Perhaps to his saving grace is that the ball was moving away from the goal, moving towards this near touchline. So no cards.
Escapes any further punishment, the man from Oslo, Norway. Hajimari's delivery. It's a good one. Great contact. Didn't get it on target.
That was a great ball into the box there. Just the right height. Had a little bit of movement on there. Had a little bit of pace as well. And it's the second time as well that ADT have not been able to pick up their man.
Flag was up immediately. Eric Gallantes straying.
But I don't think ADT will be too disappointed with that passage of play. They're managing to get 4 players up nice and high very, very quickly with their attacking centre mid as well. Also, there or thereabouts. So it's looking good, but the game is starting to get a little bit stretched now.
Sliding challenge. Not working as Owana takes over. He's got Durin helping out on the right side. Can he take on Polina here? Delivers the cross. And again, safe hands from Balobo. Hajimari gets Angeles to bite. Briseño with a no-looker. And perhaps on that occasion, should have looked. Diano upset rather that Uwano wasn't taking up the space in the middle. But they get it over to the left side quite nicely. Gallantes. Good cover from Mendiola. They're still not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, and the left-hand side is working much better now for ADT. Harvey with a lot more confidence to get a little bit higher and wider. And it brings a nice dynamic to the way that ADT are building up.
Marzan loses out to Hajimeri. The referee gets in the way of the pass. Blows the whistle.
Yeah, Hamid looked like he saved all the tricks for the second half. He's always nice to watch. Strong background in futsal, but I think adjusted or plays the game very well. Not as many nutmegs as he used to get, but not bad on the set pieces as well. That's a great ball in.
You can see extremely upset with himself. He knew he was wide open there. Look at that. Great chance for Mendiola. They have a corner kick here. Look like they might be working something short. Left here for Hamed. 4 bodies to aim at. Make that 5 inside the box, and Depe would have been one of them. The handball called. And that was on JR Malayo. Marzan dropping in to collect. They're looking for the runners.
Great pass. Difficult for the goalkeeper that when it's just hanging in around the top corner of the 18-yard box.
Giano, nice and confident on the ball. He's bringing it up himself. The center back has made it all the way to the final third. But Carlo Durin has straight offside. Looking for that outlet to Gallantes. Mendiola alert to the danger. Ahmed Ajimadi knows a thing or two about using his body. He's able to win the whistle here against Harvey Gayoso. Just over 10 minutes have gone by here in the second half. ADT asserting themselves nicely, but here come Mendiola. Polina having that taken away. He's going to leave a gap in defense for Mendiola. But Owano was unable to control. Briseño now running. Ashley Flores took over, but he was offside.
Yeah, I think he had just drifted offside, but he's still quick. And Mendiola showing that on the counter-attack they can still create problems.
Sandoval winning that duel this time against Gallantes. A little too slow on the release. Owano took it away. Well poked away by Carlo Durin, but he couldn't keep it inside. Diano under pressure. He's done well there. Gayoso with his head up. Able to skip past Hajimari. And that pass. Disappointing for the left back.
Yeah, but the game is opening up, and ADT now just need to find a little bit more quality in the final third, just so they can give their forward players half a chance when they get on the ball. But the open game does suit Mendiola as well. Though, of course, the heat is picking up on the pitch. Got just over 30 minutes to play. Still anyone's game on my book.
Game restarting. Mendiola currently don't have an outlet up top because Jim Ashley Flores is changing his boots. Lucky for him, Hamid Hajimari has been pulled back quite cynically, which means a little bit of time here to take a free kick. Let's have a look at that. Hajimari was about to have his shirt ripped off. Durin. It's a nice test for him, Carlo Durin. Louis Polinag, no slouch at left back for Mendiola. Marzan. Good intentions. Just a difficult ball for Carlo Durin to attack. Hydration break. As we find ourselves 15 minutes into this second half. ADT coming out from the break, looking the more promising of the two sides. And Durin getting a lot more involved in this second period out here on the wing. Of course, you're watching the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. A match under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board. And so glad you could join us over the PFL platforms and over One Play Sports. So much football action to enjoy today. And we'd like to take this opportunity again to invite everyone to shoot a video of themselves showing their support for their preferred club and send that over to the PFL Facebook page. And we get an opportunity to share your videos on our broadcasts. Jing Hamlang and Darren Hartman calling the action today. And ADT will be ruining that missed opportunity at the end of the first half. Marvin Angeles had a penalty saved, then had the rebound come off the upright. And that has been the best two chances of the day. And Mendiola have had an opportunity of their own, but it was a long-range effort from Jim Ashley Flores that was quite easy for Anton Yared. Other than that, they had one at the start of this period, But that one went well wide after a great delivery from a free kick. It's been few and far between the chances for Mendiola. But you could feel as if they could spring at any moment, Darren.
Yeah, it's one of those games really where we're just waiting for a clear opening. There's plenty of quality out on the pitch who, given the chance, would convert. It's just the fact that ADT are being very, very competitive off the ball, and Mendiola the same, are playing very, very deep and compact. So it's contrasting. It's good to watch, especially now with 30 minutes to go, and you can see that the game is opening up. Both teams are now starting to be able to put a few more passes together, and it's just going to be, oh, that's a nasty tackle.
That looked painful. Eric Galliantes. Was that Marcel Ivan Uano, who was crumpled onto the floor? Let's have a look at it here. Did great to pick it away. It's not so much the challenge that was bad, it was the way he landed that looked troubling. Man from Cebu City in some considerable pain.
I think it's one of those things as well where you can hear everything. I mean, these games are behind closed doors, and apart from the coaching staff, us here, the production team, and a few people involved with the organising, it really is empty here. You can hear everything.
Player number 8, James Pagasian, replaced by player number 15.
So substitution here from Mendiola. Dave Deloso checking in for James Pangasian. And now we're going to see some substitutions from ADT as well. Looks like we're going to see a first appearance for Major Dean Ibarle. Used to play for Mendiola, as well as Kaya. He's found his way over to the Azkals development team. So it's going to be 3 substitutions for ADT here, which means they've used up all 5. They're going to do it very quickly here so that they can give ample opportunities to expose themselves to this level. 25 minutes are going to be given to Troy Limbo, Dean Ibarle, and Kennedy Ozoka.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to remember, is that we're talking about ADT, and for those who don't know what ADT stands for, it's the Azkals development team, and that's exactly what this team is set up to do, and that is to develop young, talented and prospering players. So giving them minutes on the pitch is important. That's part of development.
Prayers go out to Ivan Owano, who's been stretchered off here. I hope it's not as serious as it looked. So Owano gives way. Kennedy Ozoka involved right away. And he's been hit on the head for his troubles as well.
Player number 17, Ivan Owano, replaced by Kennedy.
Let's have a look at it. Delivery from a wide area. He knocks it on. He's been bundled in the back. So Harvey Gayoso has moved to the tip of the attack alongside Kennedy. Dina Barley replaces him at the left back position. Limbo steps into the middle. He'll be joined there by Jerome Marzan. So the players that gave way: Marvin Angeles, Chima Ozoka, and of course the injured Ivan Owano. We'll see how this affects the fluidity of ADT. Ball just ran out there. Gallantes pressuring and wins the ball back. Gets it to Harvey Gayoso. Marzan. First touch for Limbo. Fantastic pressure being shown by Briseño.
That's exactly what you want your centre mids to be doing. Pressing nice and quickly when it's on.
Barley had gone into a dangerous area but did not get a chance to receive that ball. Limbo. Chance to turn for Kennedy. Limbo. Uzoka looking to switch it. It's a poor ball. Easily taken away. Pressure being shown here by ADT. They've survived another wave from the men in white. Let's have a look here. Harvey Gayoso using his backside there to just back into the defender. It looks like he really felt it. JR Malayo still down. Might need some treatment after that. Might have had the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, looks as if he was a little bit winded there. But also, I'm sure that Mendiola, having conceded 6 goals in their first game, will be looking at 0-0 as half a result. And they might be trying to slow down the game at every possible moment.
Hamed Ajimari. Involved in a bit of drama here in midfield.
Absolutely nothing wrong with having a few characters on the pitch. Hamed being one of them. Very, very passionate about his football. Also passionate about his coaching. Does help a lot of young boys get into the sport.
Hamed's delivery. Ooh, half a chance there for Mendiola. One more look at that.
Again, it's another good area.
Lingbo. Very little trouble navigating the light pressure from Altice. Inching their way forward, ADT. Marzan releases Gayoso. Lovely opportunity there for Harvey Gayoso. First touch just letting him down.
Yeah, half a chance. His movement off the ball was very good there, just checking and rolling his run as well.
Mid-air collision. Clean, says the referee. Both Polina and Durin committed to that challenge. Less than 20 minutes left in this contest. Both sides looking for the first goals in the 2020 PFL season. And looking for the first points as well. As it stands, they'd be sharing the points here. And the way things have gone, ADT would be slightly disappointed. They want to get all 3 points here. Marzan is going to unleash from Giano winning out. Chance! Lovely goal for ADT. And there it is, their first goal of the season. 1-0, ADT.
Goal for Azkals Development Team. Number 14, Harvey Gayaso.
Let's have a look at it here.
And this has really been a game of glancing headers. There's been glancing headers for both sides, and this time it's Harvey Gioso doing what we know he can do, which is, well, now be versatile and score goals. And Coach Scott's calculated timing of making the adjustments to keep his side fresh on this very hot Tuesday morning has paid off. And ADT find themselves 1-0 up, and that was just after Mendiola almost caught ADT on the counter-attack. So now it's going to be an interesting game. A younger ADT side who have just had taste of their first goal. Will they be pushing for a second? And of course, how will the more experienced Mendiola react to conceding a goal with just over 15 minutes of play left?
Lovely touch from Carlo Durin to bring it down. Harvey Gayoso in support. He's going to look to swing that in. It looked like it was heading goalwards from where we were sitting. Lovely swerved on that attempt. Let's have a look at it. Great interchange there on this near side for ADT that brought about that opportunity. Swing of play for Marzan to Durin. No whistle. And perhaps Harvey's goal adding a bit of weight to the discussion about where is best for him to play.
I'm glad that you said that first before me. But, I mean, this team is about development, and I think, you know, having experience playing in different positions is always going to be important, especially as a left-footed player. We all know that there is a huge demand for left-sided players all over the world. And I'm sure, one thing I am sure is that Harvey Gayoso is good enough to play outside of the country at club level. So let's keep him developing. He's had his moment, and he almost had another moment there, almost a quick brace. So, of course, yeah, I'm sure that the social media will be blowing up later after seeing Harvey Gayoso on the score sheet.
But clearly the coaching staff of the Azkals development team appreciate his capability up front, and that's the reason why he's been moved there.
Yes, that's exactly right. And I mean, also with the depth of squad that ADT have, they do have a mix of players who are comfortable with both feet, players who are out and out left-footed, and players who are out and out right-footed. So, I mean, the centre backs have been defending the whole game against Chima. I think Chima's done a good job up there. And now they have to deal with a left-footed player, which completely changes the dynamics of your attack. So, coaching-wise, they really do have a good crop of young players here, and they're through again.
Marzan's range starting to cause a bit of issues for Mendiola. He's been able to sit back and quarterback here for ADT, just spraying passes from the middle. And perhaps a nice opportunity here for Mendiola to recover and regroup. And they've got a final 14 minutes to try to find their footing back in this game. They find themselves behind against ADT. It's going to be an interesting finish, Darren.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where it's 5 substitutes, and when the heat is on in the second half, it's almost like 3 sets of 15. So are the coaches important? Yes, they are. What is said now is going to be vital on the outcome of this game, I think. ADT, of course, taking the lead just a few moments ago with that glancing header from Harvey Gayoso, but Mendiola have been able to build themselves into the game. Will they make any tactical adjustments? It's a great ball in.
It's a fantastic header as well from Harvey Gayoso. I'm not sure where that ball came from. Was it Dean or was it Eric Gallantes? It could have been from Ibarle, the substitute.
Pretty much the perfect cross and the perfect header. Gets high, heads it down across the goal, bounces, makes it difficult for the goalkeeper. Nothing really the goalkeeper can do there. I mean, arguably, can he come and claim it? But it's one of those balls which is near the penalty spot. And if you come out and claim it, you're a hero. But if you miss it, you know, you're going to be down for fault. So I think it was just a good cross and a good header.
And a deserved lead, you'd have to say, for the Azkals development team. They've been knocking on the door, and finally they've found their way through. Our question mark now is, where do you find your firepower if you are Mendiola? You've had Jim Ashley Flores huffing and puffing throughout this game. He's found it very difficult to find any openings. Do you change things with 12 minutes remaining here for Mendiola?
Well, I think when your goal difference is -6, -7, then I think that it's okay to change things. I think it's all right. Push an extra man forwards, try to get yourselves a goal. We call this a league, but if you break it down, it's actually a competition. It's 5 games. It's going to be very, very quick, and every game is important.
Eric Gallantes goes down. And he says it's a free kick at the edge of the area.
Very, very close to the edge of the box there.
Mendiola, of course, are veterans in the Philippines Football League. They already have 1 season under their belt. They don't want to be finishing below a newcomer to the league. So this is definitely a match that they need to get something out of if they want to guarantee that.
I had ADT down in the top half of the league. That's where I had them. Of course, with their first 2 games being the toughest. I know it's about development, but of course, for the players and for the coaching staff, in terms of morale and in terms of momentum, I'm sure picking up a few points on the way while you're developing a team is allowed. So I had them down as coming in the top 3. I was even brave enough to say top 2, but that was going to be very reliant on them getting a result against Kaya. And Kaya have come out very, very well this season, I think, very well prepared. But Mendiola, it's going to be difficult to say where they're going to be picking up their points, given that, you know, other teams have still got things to prove as well.
Lovely area for a free kick. Gayoso fakes it. Actually takes it, forces a save, and it's bundled in. A second goal for the Azkals development team. They've doubled their lead. Matthew Custodio from point blank range. Kenry Balobo spills it right in front of goal. Allows the center back to slot it in. Harvey Gayoso once again crucial in this goal.
Well, there's a stat for you, Jing. 2 players who started as defenders have now put themselves on the score sheet. And I think that when you look across a team, you look across an 11 and the subs you're going to be using, you need to try to think about, okay, how many goals a season or how many goals per game can a player score? And I think like for players like Harvey and Matthew Custodio, even if they do start at the back, you'd still put them down for a goal every few games because they've just done it so clinically throughout their youth careers. Although I will be speaking to Matthew Custodio about having a little bit of a shave. We're lucky we're not on cam, so no one has any idea about what we look like, Jing.
7 months of quarantine can do things to one's looks. But Matthew Custodio will be pleased with himself. Able to get on the score sheet, and more importantly than that, it puts a bit of calm within the squad. They've got 2 goals over Mendiola, and they've been extremely solid defensively. With 9 minutes remaining, you'd bet that they will walk away with all 3 points here.
Yeah, I think that's important to mention as well, because ADT is another chance actually. They did concede 1 goal against United City and against Kaya, but those are 2 very established AFC teams, and to leave, if they do leave here with number 1 a clean sheet and number 2 wiping out their goal difference, then I think it'd be a good day at the office for them.
Durin. Strong challenge from Polinag. I think the Azkals development team is everybody's second team, if not your first, if you're not already cheering on a club. But everybody wants to see the ADT do well, and I think they'll be pretty happy about the performance today.
Yeah, I think so, because, I mean, for myself, I wouldn't say I particularly follow one team. But if Kaya are playing at AFC level, I'll support Kaya. If United City are playing at that level, I'll support them as well. Or, of course, the former Ceres when they were dominating our conference. But I think this is a glimpse into the future of what the national team will be like. And that's one thing that I think that we all should remember, is that when the Philippines plays, when the Azkals are playing, we all support them. And I think that's why there's a little spot in everyone's little footballing hearts for this young developing side.
Zoka using those limbs very well. Picks it away from Ndepe. Durin's able to receive it. He continues his run, but the entry pass has been his problem.
I think also, Jing, is that when you play against ADT and you're technically playing in front of Coach Scott, and that isn't just for the ADT players. There's also a lot of youngsters playing for Mendiola who will feel that they have something that they can prove as well, and maybe try to get their name up for national team selection in the future, whether that's at under 23 level or, of course, at senior level.
It's quite interesting that you say that, because in the ADT's last outing, for example, Kaya had Arnel Amita, who was, you could see that he was particularly up for the contest, and having Scott Cooper there looking at you while you're performing doesn't hurt things, that's for sure. Yared running into the attacker there, but he's 100% entitled to that ball. Nimrod Balabat crumpling on the way to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's one of those things as well, and you'll see here that, I mean, the rules of the game really are there to help protect the goalkeeper, where a goalkeeper can protect his body, and of course with the extra reach of their arms, normally in a one-on-one collision it's the player who gets the worst end of the deal. But when you agree to play up front, you also agree to put yourself in that sort of situation. So
nothing malicious there from Anton Yared. Had eyes for the ball, got there first. The follow-through did the rest.
I think the standard of the goalkeeping in the Philippines is exceptional. Of course, that is highlighted and maybe helped, not maybe helped, but it's most certainly helped by Neil Etheridge doing so well in the UK, playing at Premier League level. So
really is phenomenal, the talent at the disposal of the Philippines in between the sticks. Neil Etheridge, Michael Falkesgaard, Patrick Dato, and of course these young men from the Azkals development team as well. Anton Yared, Quincy Camerad, Michael Casas, who hasn't done half bad for Kaya FC Iloilo as well. Jim Ashley Flores trying to get his squad to increase the tempo. They're chasing this game, but he's not getting the fight out of his players that he wants.
I think the toll of playing at such a high tempo for so long, it can wear down teams. And as long as ADT have got the mentality to, see it out until the second half, until the game starts opening up, then they'll be okay. They'll be able to find results in this league. However, like with United City, they're able to find the tempo through their possession, and that's why they're able to break down teams in the first half.
This has to be huge for the confidence, Darren. You push the two best teams in the league to the limit, lose out very narrowly to them, and now you get this opportunity to face Mendiola, and not only have you stood up to the challenge, but you're 2-0 ahead with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think so. We were speaking about it earlier, about whether or not this game would be important for the ADT, and without putting too much pressure on them, that's why I didn't want to dwell on it too much at the start of the game. I would say that after those two results against two tough sides, it was very important that they went out here and, number one, put on a good performance. And I think that the number of passes that they've put together, they're going to be happy with. Perhaps just a little bit more cohesion out wide here and there. But in terms of expressing themselves, have they done that? Yes, they have. And this is another good play.
Harvey. Limbo. Looking for a teammate inside. Just couldn't make the connection there. Eric Gallantes. Oof, confidence from Mardiano there to pick it out. He's really developing into a fine player. Mardiano looked good in the UAAP. Looked even better when he joined Mendiola last year. And now he's really looking like a solid option at center back for the Philippines. Harvey Gayoso giving it chase. Ball still alive. It seemed like everybody had given up on that play. And Harvey Gayoso has won the free kick against Suleiman Indepe. And we're now going to see a triple substitution on the part of Mendiola. We're going to see Peter Fadrigalan check in. We're going to see John Aaron Nebreja.
Substitution for Mendiola FC. Player number 18. Joshua Polinar replaced by
So Polina comes off. Aaron Altiche comes off as well.
17. Aaron Altiche replaced by John Nebreja.
So just the two substitutions actually. And we're going to see an additional 3 minutes added on to this contest. And Mendiola need a miracle now if they are to snatch anything from this game. Fadrigalan involved right off the bat upon entry. The outlet was picked away too easily. Mardiano! Ooh! Smacks it off the crossbar. What an attempt from the center back. Well tracked by Dean Ibarle. Uzoka given chase. If you couldn't see the scoreline, you'd think ADT was trailing. They're still pushing the pace here.
I think that's what you're going to get from a young team. I mean, with a 2-goal cushion as well, with an eye on the time. But I like the way that the last few attacks have really been through, building up the play. There's been a good tempo on the ball now.
Caldurin cuts inside. Gayoso. Nice little entry ball. Trying to find the run of Kennedy Ozoka. That's well ahead of the man. All the way back to Yared. Mendiola will drop their second game in a row. They'll have a mountain to climb now with 3 games remaining in the 2020 season. And meanwhile, for ADT, this is a confidence booster for the young Azkals. Their first 3 points of the competition, and they get it against Mendiola FC 9091. The Young Guns are on the board. Harvey Gayoso heading them in early on to give the lead, then later on delivered the free kick. That was spilled by Kenny Balobo that allowed Matthew Custodio to slot in the second. 2-0 it finishes in favor of the Azkals development team, and you have to say Scott Cooper will be pleased with the performance.
Yeah, I think Coach Scott will be pleased with this. It's not the fact that they've won the game, it's just the fact what the win will do for the morale and the momentum of the development of the young players. They went out, they've scored a couple of goals, but I've been really happy with the last 15 minutes, being able to build up high, little bit of combinations in and around the box, and that's exactly what you would want from a young side labelled as the Azkals, or the developing Azkals.
And to add a bit of icing to their performance, they never looked really in danger. There was a few half chances here and there for Mendiola, but for the most part, it was an assured performance from ADT.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was professional. You could see from the highlights that they managed to limit Mendiola in the second half, really to their set pieces. Take nothing away from the quality of the set pieces. They've managed to get in behind a couple of times with glancing headers. It's just the fact that the glancing header here of Harvey Gayoso is, to a higher standard to some extent.
You can see how much that means to him. It's a lovely delivery. It looks like it's from Ibarle. Pinpoint delivery, pinpoint header from Harvey Gayoso, and you can see how much it means to them. They've been looking for their first goal, and finally in their third outing, they're able to get it into the back of the net.
They had actually played for almost, I think, just over 250 minutes of football. And I mean, the first 180 minutes of football is a real welcoming to the PFL this time round, having played the 2 tougher teams. But here, I think Matthew Custodio deserved that. Maybe that's his reward for the way that he defended in the first 3 games.
A tremendous performance from Matthew Custodio as well, alongside Mardiano. Extremely solid at center back, but there it is. Your full-time score, 2-0 in favor of the young Azkals development team. A fantastic performance and a confidence builder for the troops of Scott Cooper. Coming up later this afternoon, you've got a big matchup. Supposedly the season opener between these 2 sides, but now they play it on match day 3. Stallion Laguna looking to bounce back after losing to Maharlika Manila in their opening game up against Akaya Football Club Iloilo, who are looking to make it 3 straight wins in the competition. It should be a fantastic matchup. Make sure you tune in for that. That's at 4:30 today. Darren, welcome back to Calling Football Matches. We had a fun one out here. Thank you for joining me, and we look forward to having you back for more football action in the future.
Yeah, it was great to be here, and I can't wait to cover more games.
Thank you all for watching over PFL and One Play Sports. My name is Jing Hamlang. We'll catch you later on today for more action in the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways.